Good day, fellow scapers. My name's Deck, but please call me Hobo and welcome back to my channel. So, this year is Jagex. I've got to say, the latest event, Jagex are coming out absolutely swinging. After last year's, well, there's been a bit of mixed feedback. Obviously, the great release around Necromancy, but then followed up by the controversy with their MTX deals and things like that. Yeah, they had a bit of a rocky year last year, but Jagex seem to be really trying to make up for it this year, and they've come out with an absolutely stonking event to kick off January, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to talk you through some of what the buffs are and what the event actually entails. So it's called the Birthday Bonanza and Vorkath updates this week in RuneScape. So this is today from the 8th. So the first thing is first, for a substantial part of the event, what you're basically going to be doing is collecting effectively a fancy hat, is the idea. And the way you're going to do it is by you're going to unlock it and progress towards it, and you're going to be using some of the buffs along the way that are going to help you to do so. So firstly, I'd like to say Iron Men and Iron Women can get the birthday buff hat, as it were, or the fancy hat, but they are not going to be able to cash in on the absolutely insane buffs that the rest of any of the normal mode players are effectively going to be able to cash in on, which, is to be expected, I suppose. But yeah, so I'll just talk to you a little bit around the birthday bonanza. So starting from today, which is the 8th, you're going to be able to choose between 3 different buffs every single day. I think it's until the 21st of January. You'll be able to use these buffs for 2 hours. And yes, you will be able to take a break in between this. So let's say if you do an hour of, I don't know, wood cutting or whatever as part of this buff, you'll be able to pause it or log out at an hour. And you'll be able to come back and carry on using it and still have an hour remaining. So yeah, the idea is you're going to be given 3 buffs every single day up until the 21st, and you can only use one of these. However, these buffs are absolutely insane. Let me talk you through them. So, January 8th and the 16th. So, for today and the 16th, prayer points do not drain. So, if you want skill today and you want to be using things like Lightform, alongside things like Crystallize, go ham. You do not drain any prayer points while your prayers are on. This is also going to be brilliant if you want to be, I'll talk about it in a second, but for today as well, cannons do not require or consume cannonballs. Let me tell you, today is the day if you want to start completing your Lost Grove creatures with the cannon. If you want to complete the Corporeal Beast, this is the day to do it. So Corporeal Beast, actually, I think most of the time you walk away with more cannonballs than you walked in with. I've done a kind of guide for this previously. It does need updating, which I'll probably do at some point in the near future. But absolutely, today is the day. If you want to be going down an AFK in these creatures, you have unlimited cannonballs, which is absolutely fantastic. And your prayer points won't be draining. So go in there with your hardest hitting prayers on. So that's your Leech Necromancy, your Leech Melee, etc. Go ham. And also today, if you're not feeling like doing any PVM, you have a 20% chance to be receiving an additional item when gathering resources with any gathering skill, and that will get sent straight to your bank as well. So it's not going to be it's not going to be sent to your backpack unless it's divination, which makes sense, I suppose, because you're going to be wanting to chuck those into the divination pit. I don't know what the names are. So yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. It's not absolutely clear whether or not you get 20% addition, or sorry, it's not absolutely clear as to whether or not you get double experience when you receive the additional item, but we'll have to see. The next one, Runic Focus. So basically, cost of incantations is reduced by 90%, and everything else doesn't require runes. That's absolutely phenomenal. So that's all combat spells, teleports, and necromancy incantations do not require runes. Super exciting. That'd have been great. I've literally just completed my first hard mode up kill today, and I must have gone through loads of runes to do it because I was using tank armor, so I didn't have my standard extensions on my conjures using the T95. That would have been absolutely phenomenal, but here we go. Ritualistic. 50% necromancy ritual output. So that's on the 9th and the 16th. Now, if I actually have a look at that, so that by itself is super exciting. Really, really super exciting for anybody who's looking to get additional material. That's brilliant. However, as much as it's not going to suit for January 9th, potentially, January 9th, if you look down, there is on January 15th, the day before, the second ability to be able to do the ritual, the 50% additional ritual output. All enemies drop noted ashes on death. It may be time to start farming your abyssal demons on the 15th. get yourself a spot nice and early, because for 2 hours, all of their ashes will be noted, which means that you can attack the rituals the next day fully equipped without having to buy loads of ashes. So that's really exciting. Acrobatic, January 9th and 18th. Cooldown of Escape, Surge, Dive, and Bladed Dive is reduced from 20.4 to 4.8. So that will be great for a couple of things. So the first thing is going to be, if you're going to be using Surge, Bladed Dive, to do, I'm just going to make it up, rune crafting. If you're looking to do some rune crafting, particularly with the necromancy runes, that's going to be brilliant. Another thing as well, if you're going to be doing agility the old school way, which is to say not using silver hawks, not using bonus experience or prismatic lamps, then absolutely, if you're going to be diving around Anachronia, let's say for example, you've basically got an power burst of acceleration in your pocket at all times for 2 hours. So it may be time to beat some of your personal bests over on the course. Just saying, if you're able to use all of those buffs during that time, that's to be brilliant, and you'll be able to earn a lot more experience. Kleptomaniac. So I have got 99 or 100 thieving, I can't remember now. But I am going for 120s, and I have not yet got the full outfit. I've got the exoskeleton, but I haven't got the full outfit. So I'm going to have a look and see where is best experience for pickpocketing, and I'm going to go ham for 2 hours, because that is brilliant. 200% Artisans Workshop Respect on January 10th. So it's either or for those. I'll probably go for pickpocketing myself. But with that, if you are chasing the blacksmithing outfit or something along those lines, it is time to go and get it on January 10th. There's no ifs and no buts about it. If I was in that position where I wanted it, I'd be wanting to get Elder Rune +4 or everything that basically allows you to complete it in the maximum period of time, because you could go absolutely ham and get all of the buffs during that period, which is brilliant. High metabolism, 100% healing from food and potions. So off the top of my head, I'm thinking if you're looking to start a new boss and you don't want to be using a snack yak, all of the food and potions in your inventory have double the impact, which means it's time to drop the snack yak, grab yourself a Reaver, a Ripper, or a Calgarian Demon, and go there, because the best defense is a great offense, and this is going to allow you to do just that. 100% archaeology precision, 50% chance of finding materials while excavating. That is absolutely phenomenal. I've already got 120 archaeology, but brilliant. Next one, January 11th. So in 3 days' time, I am one of those people who has just been doing the merchant, the deep sea merchant, for the occasional ability to buy living farm produce. But I have yet to get borrowed power. I have yet to get disruption shield. I know I should probably have it, because all I do is PDM, but I haven't done it. It's a bit of content that I really don't want to do. I've heard really terrible things about it. Apparently it's dross content. I am so excited on January 11th to be able to go and basically get 6 hours worth of living farm produce in 2 hours. And for me, that's not a massive amount of time to be click intensive. I'm really excited to be doing that. I'm likely to be able to pick up disruption shield. I hope I may even be able to get borrowed power as well, but I'll have to wait and see. Really excited to be doing that on January 11th. I've never done that bit of content, which means I'm probably going to have to spend an hour or so ahead of that, just kind of dipping my toe in the water to find out how tough it is, how to continue, and basically figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, Lunar Prodigy, I'm so excited. Stamina doesn't decrease while mining, and yeah, so 1% adrenaline gained from base abilities generate adrenaline. That does not stack with Fury of the Small relic power. So if it doesn't stack, what that basically means is it may be time to take off Fury of the Small relic power and swap it in with something else, because what that will effectively mean is you can have the equivalent of 4 relics live at any one point. So if you are chasing a new PB at a boss, by all means, take it off, replace it with another relic, because every single little bit is going to be helping you. And if you can have 4 relics live at the same time, that'll be insane. January 12th and 19th, stamina doesn't decrease while mining. So again, you have to choose from these. But yeah, if you're chasing XP or something like that, it may be time to get just a bunch of the Elder Ring +4s or +5s, whatever, and just sit there and mine it, because that will be one of the most AFK pieces that you can possibly do without needing an auto heater. Same again goes for when you're mining. Summoning charms are dropped on death by enemies 3 times the charm. So they're tripled, apart from Arch Laser. Bit disappointing, but there you go. Yeah, so basically, if you're going to be chasing summoner training, that is your time to be doing it. Unfortunately, no for Arch Laser, but definitely others that drop reds and blues and things like that, by all means do it. It may be time to bring out something like Bork again. I don't know for anyone who's done that bit of content in a couple of years. But yeah, Bork takes 2 seconds, and all of his drops are potentially going to be tripled. So yeah, time to cash in on that. Death's Favour. Upon death, you restore. Yes, that's another free death event on January 13th and 20th for 2 hours, potentially, if you opt to do that. That'd be really good, I think, for me, in particular, because I have only gotten one hard mode up kill, and that was in tank armor. It may be time on that day specifically to push to DPS armor in the form of my robes of the first necromancer. Killer contracts, 100% Slayer points additional. So I'll talk about this in a second. And Reaper points, free Slayer VIP choices, free Soul Reaper assignment choices. So what you may want to do for 2 hours, you are able to choose who your Reaper assignment is. And what that basically means is if you have Reaper refreshes, you are able to, for 2 hours, farm any boss of your choice and get Slayer points for doing so. Now, for me, if you get 100% additional Slayer points as well, I do not know if that counts for Ling, who gives you actual Slayer contracts over on the ammunition. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've done a video on free Slayer experience. I think it's up to 1 million per week. Check it out. I'll link it in the description. But you may be able to double up on the Slayer experience from Ling alongside the Slayer experience for doing Seiryu, which will be, for me, absolutely insane. I'm level 116 Slayer. I'm pushing for 120s. So basically, for 2 hours, I'll be able to farm Seiryu, I think, 8 times. So that'll be loads of a Slayer experience. Super exciting. Trailblazer, 100% treasure trail points for completing treasure trails. Yeah, great. I mean, it's not a piece of content that I generally tend to do. Hazelmere's Blessing, again, that'll be a nice to have on February 14th. But I'll have a look at the other buffs on the day. So Boon of the Architect. So yeah, this will probably be 14 passive regeneration. Actually, to be fair, Hazelmere's Blessing is probably going to be the one that I use because I'll be saving all of my support skill training for a double experience weekend at some point in the future. But I have no doubt on January 14th and 21st, if it's not already, 4, 4, and 3 will be absolutely rampacked. Passive regeneration. So I don't even know really why they do this, because you can just teleport to wars or teleport to any bank, and that'll give you life points back. You can go on the crystal, and that'll refresh your prayer points and your summoning points as well. So it's a bit of a duff one, but it is what it is. Oracle, so 100% additional divine energy. Great. So if you're chasing those divination levels, go for it. Ashes to Ashes, already talked about that, so that'll massively impact anybody who needs Ashes for the Necromancy skill, which is brilliant. Tree Shaker. So because they've said when things don't stack, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this 200% chance to find a bird's nest when woodcutting would also stack with the Scrimshaw of Tree Shaking. Oh, haven't actually got it. Have I still there? No, so I haven't got it anymore. But if you're still chasing that Incando hatchet, now is the time to do it. Get yourself 2 hours worth of Scrimshaw of Tree Shaking. Get all the buffs that you possibly can. And then, yeah, choose that buff, because that is effectively going to be you with whatever the percentage chance is to get that hatchet. So with all the buffs going, I have absolutely no doubt in those 2 hours, you are likely to find at least one Incando hatchet piece. So yeah, that'll be a nice to have. Periodically gain rare items whilst training non-combat skills. I don't know what they mean by rare items. So we'll just have to wait and see for that one. I'll see what the choices are at the time. I definitely won't be doing the treasure trail points. So yeah, I don't know if anything's got the 13th on there. Where is the 13th? Oh yeah, so Death to Safe, basically. I'll probably go for that. But yeah, I'll be really excited to see what people get on this day when they're training non-combat skills, and also I'll be keen to understand when or what the chances are of that proccing, just purely and simply because you've only got 2 hours to be able to do it. So 200% chance to catch Slayer monsters using the new Shakti. That is definitely something I'll be interested in. But sure, for some people it would be great. Now, the final one on January 18th, Thrill Seeker. Slayer counter does not decrease. So, in my head, if you are looking for Slayer experience and you're really looking to be able to push rates, what you're going to want to do for January 18th is get yourself a Slayer task that has a low number of monsters, but a huge amount of XP. So, I don't actually know how many Abyssal Lords that you get when training at a time. I've not really looked at I haven't trained Slayer properly in a very long time. But if I look at Abyssal Demons, so Slayer experience per hour is 400k with Demons. Okay. Slayer experience with Abyssal Lords is 1.8 mil. Effectively, what you're going to be able to do, because there is absolutely no Slayer counter decrease, is you're going to be able to get yourself 3.6 million experience for the 2 hours at base. Okay. Plus, you will still have that Slayer counter for Abyssal Lords afterwards as well. That's when it will start draining. So you're more likely looking at, I don't know, you know, 4 mil as base experience. You add that with your 6% clan avatar buff, you add that to things like your torso incense or whatever, okay, you're in for an absolute time. That is going to be absolutely savage. And for people chasing that Slayer experience, kudos to you. Just make sure you get to Slayer Lords nice and early, or alternatively, I imagine there's something even better, something like, yeah, Gemstone Dragons is another one as well. And then you've got things like Elves, Chilling Elves using ranged Improv Dinis. You'll have to save it for particular times, I would imagine. But yeah, so those types of activities, 1.8 mil doing Lords. Yeah, good Lord. Another one will be, you know, Lost Road creatures using Legacy with your Blood Barrage as well. Go ham on it, guys. Go ham on it. It's gonna be an absolute time with this event. So as I already said, Iron Men will not be able to cash in on this. However, they can still earn progress towards Fantasy Hat cosmetic overrides. You can't change your mind once you picked it. That makes sense. You can't dip and dive between the lot. But yeah, so is what it is. But join the event late, won't be able to earn the fancy hat. Will it make a return? So probably, and if there's enough hype for it and enough positive feedback for it, I have absolutely no doubt that they will probably have another one in the future. Alternatively, Premier Club tokens. Again, that's cashing on being a member effectively. So the next one, Vorkath drop table changes. So based on people's feedback, I think with Vorkath not being lucrative enough, I suppose, they have made a big change to the drop table, big enough to make me almost consider doing that bit of content. I looked at it from day one and went, no, I'm just going to sell my ancient scales. And now I'm so pleased with the choice that I made, because I must have made a couple of billion on saved ancient scales, because I think I sold them when they were at their peak at 1.6 mil. But now they have released something specifically for hard mode. They have added an additional drop. So you have a chance at getting the Vorkath scale. And for this, you will need 1 Vorkath scale to make Dracolich or Dracolich armor. Okay, you'll no longer need ancient scales if you get that drop in hard mode. And that shares the same drop chance as the Lord of Incantation Codex, which is 1 in 125. So you have a 1 in 125 chance of being able to make a Dracolich piece of armor. I have no doubt that Elite Dungeon 1 Ancient Scales are about to crash, because everybody who's going to be chasing on hard mode has a much better chance to build the Dracolich armor without needing the Ancient Scale. So that's really good. I as much as I've not enjoyed looking at it, it seems a bit of a messy omelette, the fight with Vorkath. I've not really enjoyed looking at it too much, but in normal mode or hard mode. But I think that is probably a good step in the right direction to be making that boss, you know, relevant, unless you're chasing log or something like that. For me, I looked at the fight, I looked at the boss, I looked at the rewards, and I went, it's absolutely not worth it. This is a step in the right direction. I was expecting something at the time, like maybe you know, being able to craft a different piece of ranged armor, for example, as a step in the direction for buffing the other combat styles. But yeah, again, like I said, absolutely a good step in the right direction. But yeah, that's about it there. I'm so excited about this event, and I am absolutely 100% going to be cashing on it. But that's all for this video. If you like what you saw, if you found it useful, if you want to see more content like this, by all means, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and just maybe I'll catch you in my next RuneScape misadventure. But for now, happy scaping.